Well, welcome back everybody for part two. Part one went flawlessly, as you saw. But now we're on to part two. We're going to get into the teardown. So we'll do some high speed, some low speed for you guys to get through it quick. So thanks for sticking with us, and we'll see you in the video. Alright guys, well we're back at the M3 garage for step two, tear down. So take a look at the old truck. We didn't really get a chance to take a look at it without the bed on it. So we got plenty of room for activities, as you can see. And there was a flatbed up on auction today that I think we're going to bid on, I'm not sure. So that's where she's at. YXC's home. Let's go check on Lynn and get this thing started. Enough playing around. Should be up on the hoist and warm in here. All right. Looks like we're good to go. We can start working. What's up, Len?
Hey!
All right, so we're just gonna get going on this, guys. They're not gonna mess around anymore. We're just gonna start ripping the wheels off. And then once we get some of the front fascia, we can kind of get some better views in here. We'll go back to this front view, but we're gonna go up to high speed and just get busy on tearing this thing down. So we'll see you shortly. All right, so we had a chance to get the front off. If you guys seen with the special frame puller 3000, compliments of Len and his fun toys. Now that we got this off, we were hoping to save the frame or the fan, but you can see it is pretty well deformed.
Yeah, it's not
up in this corners and sides.
Motors probably.
So for the cost of that whole assembly, it's best just to, I think, replace it. Of course, the radiator didn't blow, but she's pretty toast. Pulled out of the, you know, the bottom holes got yanked out and everything. So
she bent.
So first look up front, you know, we did get this back quite a bit, but as you can see, it's still pinched, still got the winch pinched in there pretty good. I don't think we're going to be able to get this plate back where it needs to go to reuse it, in all honesty. This point from here up to here is critical for that whole front end, and so I think we're just going to go with that standard bulkhead for now, and then eventually replace the winch once we find out if that's still properly working and everything. It wasn't working after the crash, but that could very well have been because we destroyed the switch with our one of our knees. So we're going to continue on. At this point, we're going to get her up a little higher on the lift
and do some measuring.
Yeah, we're going to pull the front bulkhead off, and then start working on getting the lower A-arms off. We'll do that in high speed, and once we get that stuff off, we'll come back to you guys with a more detailed view, and we'll get some measurements and kind of really see, put some straight edges on these things here, just to see how far they're in and out.
This upper looks fine.
I think so too. I think nothing really looks like it moved.
I don't even think the bottom.
Get some straights from here to here too as well.
Well, I could see it. And did some quick measurements on the tower. The tower looks good. Thought it was bent, but no, the tower looks good. So.
Yeah, we're not seeing any stress cracks in any of the powder coating either.
No, I think it took it all on the wheels.
I think so too. I think it
behaved
behaved
the bumper,
exactly the way that it was designed to do.
And
so
this bumper collapsing the way it did, it saved a lot of damage. So.
I agree.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, so we're gonna get moving again. Go back to high speed, and we'll catch you once we get the front end apart. Alright, so we got to get out the heavy tools. So what's going on here is we've got so much pressure on the axle that there's no play in here, and it's binding the lower ball joint on this little feature here that is a safety pull-out or the bolt doesn't come out. So we just decided cut this bad girl right out of there and call it a day, since we will not be reusing them. We might have to get a bigger torch tip. That'd make for a good opener video too. How many people torch on their X3s?
Oh, I love doing it to other people's shit.
Well, yeah, we'd never do it to ours.
I wouldn't wreck mine on purpose anyway. Sorry, Josborn, I love you, baby. I really do.
Oh, heck yeah, that was easy.
Yeah, we're just cutting all the way off.
Yeah, just get it going.
Bet you could never do this with a Lone Star. Yeah, you could. It's pretty thin.
Yeah, it definitely is not. Wow, that shit's paper thin.
Well, probably a more high strength.
Well, it's that 90-98 steel, so it's a higher strength steel. Cool, that should solve that problem right off the bat.
All right.
All right, guys, so we got the lower A-arms off. Got a little bit of deflection here, which we're just going to use, can't think of the name of it right now, but our little puller to pull these back straight. That shouldn't be a problem. Up top, everything looks good. In back, no issues with those mount points. They look really solid. Bolts aren't bent, nothing, so we're good. We do have a concern now with all the tensions off. The rack still is ratcheting. You can feel the gears in there. So the next stage, I think she's toast. So the next stage here is going to be we'll pull the tie rods off, we'll get the rack out and get it on the floor, and we'll see what's actually wrong with it. For the price, I'm thinking replace. I don't even know if
it's not worth.
there's a guy that rebuilds them, but I wouldn't even screw with it.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you're driving along at a good clip and that thing locks up on you,
I agree. It's best just to.
You're gonna be right back. Probably worse.
So it looks like pretty much what we thought from the beginning, guys. Yeah. Lowers, rack, the whole fan and radiator setup. We're not going to be able to save this. Sorry, Jason. She's just too many critical mount points on that she's just gone. Lowers, I said already. And, honestly, I think most of this plastic we can save. Most of it's already kind of fell back into its place. So we put a little bit of heat on them babies. They should go down. If not, this whole piece here isn't that bad. We'll get with Jason on how far he wants to go.
We can paint these.
Yeah.
Could straighten this out, paint it.
Yeah, this side's good here. We gotta put a little heat into this side. So we'll see. I mean, if our mount points are all gone, some of them are kind of important.
I bet if we put that in front of the heaters, a lot of it'll straighten
fall right back into place.
It'll go right back on its own.
See, a lot of this up here is pretty shot too, though, where it clips into the lights.
Yeah.
I'll ask Jason on that one.
Well,
this was relatively inexpensive.
It'll be all right. Oh yeah, it's hard to say. These tabs here.
At least we didn't lose the lights. So I'm gonna probably say at his discretion the front piece here as well. All the innards are fine, but just the main core of this, it's a relatively inexpensive part. So we'll leave that up to him. So like I said, at this point, we're gonna go back to high speed. We'll pull this rack out and take a look at it once she's out. We'll catch you then. It could be the DPS because you're turning an electric motor in there. That's usually supposed to be assisting, but if you go over to ours, I don't feel that same thing.
No, yeah, let me check mine.
Oh, dude, yeah, that's the DPS, man.
DPS is,
You try turning yours and it just feels like a standard wheel, like on a car.
yeah.
All right, so we probably just pulled that out for more than likely no reason. We're gonna check it.
All right. We can check it anyway.
We'll check it, make sure that it doesn't, rotate on itself or anything silly like that.
Let's check it out. You show them my heater?
Yeah, guys. So
That's funny.
and it's all totally my fault. I parked it behind the skid steer the other day, and I ran right over it.
Funny.
Surprised it even still fires.
Funny as just put it in here real light. All right, let's get some vice grips and see if we can feel anything. I don't think so. Mucker up these splines so we. Yeah, it's Josborn's. Sorry, Jason. I didn't mean to say it. Just know we're going to be faster no matter what you do.
Yeah, we're gonna put some kind of limitation in this system somewhere.
It's going to be dog tracking like a mother when we get done with it.
Going down the road sideways.
It's going to be going down the road like this. So the alignment will be good, brother.
Feels good, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it feels real good.
Take her all the way to the other side if you can.
Yeah. Yeah, it's smooth.
Okay, so
Yeah, I think this is good. I think it's a DPS.
yep. So we have a plan for that. So what we'll do is when we get the rest of the parts in, we'll throw this rack back in.
Feels good.
Yeah, it does
These
actually.
are nice and straight. No bends in these at all. Huh. All you need is alignment, sir.
You gotta wonder what could have happened. Like, why did that DPS do that?
It's electric. Anytime you force a motor to go the wrong way when there's a lot of stuff in there.
True. That's really strange how
Something
it's
a jar like
ratcheting.
that, and
I wonder, at this point, I would be curious to turn the system on. We'd check the, you drop her down some.
Yep.
It's kick the system on and see if we've got any blown fuses. Because if we can get power back to the DPS without anything on it and try it and see if it'll cycle and then get rid of whatever that ratcheting is. Highly doubtful, though.
no, it's
We
something,
might have to go to plan B on the
something's up with that.
DPS. That's good. We're hitting the brake calipers.
Something's not right.
Yeah, normally it would kick right on. Adrenaline cycles. How lame.
I don't know if that's like the magnets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're turning the electric motor in there.
Yeah, that's.
But why don't you feel it on yours when it's turned off? That's what's curious. There must be a clutch or something that engages and disengages that's not pulling. We got to get power to it.
Oh, something is just—it's not right. Something's not right.
Check engine lights on too.
It's just
That's,
feels like it just feels like it's ratcheting, guys. It's just
yeah.
not sure what that is, but ours don't do that.
No, not when they're turned off.
Yeah, it's when it's turned off. It does the same thing it's turned off as it's turned on. So I'm guessing it's junk because it took a pretty good.
Well, we have
toll.
no power to it right now. I don't think. Unless it's just shot itself. I mean, there could be a fuse somewhere, but I don't really know. I'll have to look that
We'll
up.
pull the wires off and put a meter on it. See if there's power going to it.
Light
but-
underneath here. Jesus, there's 10 wires going to it.
It just doesn't feel right.
All right, guys. So here's where we are. Pulled the rack. Rack's fine. Joints are good. Rack's fine. Good, we're not screwing with it. Giving up on the bumper. There's too many mount points, too many messes. I mean, this is all shot in here. We're gonna have to cut this out just to get the winch out, or it gets, maybe put her back on the frame puller 3000 against a brick house and between the skid steer or something, but I don't know. That thing's done. Lower A-arms we got to get. Radiator fan assembly we got to get. The core plastic piece, I think we need to, not the front fascia, just the core. We're gonna save the plastic beauty parts. Where does that leave us, Len? What am I missing?
DPS.
Well, the DPS we think is shot, but we've got a plan for that. So no worries. Some of these spacer plates that were, some of the double shears had a little bit of bend in them, but we can just flatten them back out.
But as far as structure, as far as the frame,
everything looks good.
Mounting points, everything's good. So I think we're going to be within, like, I'll bet we'll be within an eighth inch on wheelbase.
Probably.
Yeah, we'll be
more than enough for what for what we do. So, but we are gonna, I think, get the frame tonker on there and pop these back out. Headed them a few times with the body pan and puller, just to get them flat again. We are gonna need new bushings for the A-arms as well, unless he gets them used with the bushings already in them. We'll have to get new ones.
We'll put like a pipe around this. A pipe, a big washer.
Yep.
And then we'll just tighten it down and she'll pull it out.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
We'll
just do
put a big pipe on here so that
it'll pull them right back out.
Or something, so, yeah, and then we'll just tighten it down. It should just pull this section out.
Okay. We did see here in the rack, you know, these captured bushings here that were welded in. There was a little bit of flexing here, but the rest of it seems to be straight. This plane here is flat. So I think it just kind of shifted towards us slightly. So I don't think we got a problem there. We'll have to try to get it back in its spot as best as possible, but that ain't gonna be no worries.
No, it's gonna be, the lower A-arms did their job for sure.
Yep. I think everything did the way, like I said, what it was designed to do, and crumpled the way it should. So this isn't a really bad ordeal, I don't think, at the end of the day.
I'd hope we have to cut the front end off, get a new frame, splice her in, dowel it.
Yeah.
Well, Josborn, we just take and put a removable front end on there and just pin it and stuff.
Quick change.
Yeah, so then we wreck it, we just have a change right on the trailer.
One piece quick change.
Quick change.
That's a good idea, actually. So we're gonna probably wrap it up here, guys. Now that we've got a parts list, we'll get the stuff on order, get it on the way so we can start reassembling. And then once we get it back on a rolling chassis, get it back together, we can take it for a little ride. We can see what else might need to be done. I have a feeling we're good to go. So we'll get the DPS fixed after the car is back together, because that could be pulled from inside, no problem whatsoever. And we'll get back to you. So this is the end of this video for today. You know, thanks for watching, guys. We really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do, because we're gonna finish this right out over the next couple episodes, and then we're gonna move on to some really cool things that we're gonna be doing. We're gonna do a get together with all of us for a nice winter ride through the snow, which is always a great time. We gotta give these hunters a chance to have their time in the woods. But so we'll have you hit that at the first of the year. So like I said, if you haven't subscribed, please do, so you get the notifications when we release these. And thank you for everybody who's been with us since the beginning. We appreciate it, and we'll see you at the next time. Thanks.